Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another segment of All Things, where we are taking a closer look at God and science. This week, we're going to take you behind the scenes. Yeah, I wish I had one of those little clever things that you could like behind the scenes. But today, we're going to take a closer look at an ant colony.
Well, of course we are.
Of course.
Why not?
Because guess what? In an ant colony, every single ant has a job. Not one ant gets away with just having a life of luxury and just sitting there and relaxing and having fun and hanging out. Mm-mm.
See, I would have thought it would have been the opposite. Like, I would have wanted to work my way up to queen ant status so that I could just, have people come and feed me grapes all day and wave me with palm branches. I want to be the queen.
No, because guess what? If you're the queen, you are literally responsible for the entire ant colony. Oh. Like, without the queen, there is no ant colony. Oh. Because the queen's job is to lay the eggs. Without laying eggs, you don't have an ant colony.
So, like, she's like pregnant all the time.
All the time.
Not a job for me.
All the time.
All right, what are my other choices of jobs here? Because I'm still looking for the easier ones.
Queen, not on your list.
Nope.
You could be a drone.
Oh, that sounds fun.
It does. I mean, just the name alone sounds pretty cool. But the drone's job is to basically be by the queen. Probably attends to her every whim.
Oh, yeah, so maybe not for me.
The drone is right next to the queen. Probably like an assistant, right-hand man.
So there's got to be something better for me here. What else do we got?
Well, I'll tell you what I don't want to be. I don't want to be a worker ant.
Oh, yeah. That already doesn't sound very fun.
No, although it's probably very... fulfilling job. But anyways, the worker ant's job is to literally do everything. Find the food, take care of the eggs and the larvae. They have to take out the trash. They have to find the food. They have to fight off the nest invaders. Like, basically, your colony exists because of the queen, because she lays the eggs. But it can only continue because of the worker ants.
So I feel like we could take this model and apply it to all sorts of different jobs, because when you think about it, there really isn't any job out there where somebody can get away with doing nothing. Like, my goal is to be the queen ant, but obviously that's still a job within the colony that would have to happen. So let's take it in the example of this church. You might think you don't have a role in the scene of the church because you're not a paid staff person. You're not the pastor, and so you can't run the church. However, as a church member, there's lots of jobs that you can do. Even if it means you never even walk foot in the doors of the church during the week, you could be sending letters to missionaries. You could be praying for people, and those are big jobs as well.
So God tells us in his word that there is one body, but many parts, right? So guess what? That's all of us. So in the church is one body, made up of many parts. Everybody has to do their part in order for the body to function. So it might not be preaching every Sunday or playing the organ or leading youth group or teaching preschool, but you have an important job. You can be praying, you can give words of encouragement, you can support the different functions. And not just here at this place, like Jamie said, you can send cards to missionaries. Their website has all of their information that you need to get a hold of those people. You can be praying for everybody. You can support things that you're doing. But then it goes beyond the church. So we all have a job, right? And it's important for us to have those jobs in order for us to keep going. It might not be at the church. You might be in the secular world, but guess what? Your job is important there too, because you can pray for those in leadership. You can contribute to society. You can share the gospel. And that's the most important thing, because we are all called to do that job.
Exactly. And just like our ant colony will not survive if one person does not do its job, if one ant does not do its job, we as a Christian body don't survive if we do not take part and do what is our job. God called us into different vocations, and we get to live out our Christian life within those different areas of our daily lives.
So don't ever think to yourself, well, praying isn't as important as preaching on a Sunday morning, because even though it's done behind the scenes and nobody sees you doing it, it is equally as important, because guess what? God sees you doing it, and he created you for that purpose, to pray, to support, to love others, to share the gospel message with others. So even though it's not physical and out there like the queen having all the, eggs and then the worker ants doing all the jobs behind the scenes, you are seen because you are fulfilling what God has commanded you to do, and that is to go and tell others the good news. So don't get caught with, you know, oh, I'm behind the scenes like those little worker ants that get no recognition, because you do. God sees it, and because of God seeing you do it, he will bless that effort. And man, you could be unstoppable in your job.
You have been created for a purpose, so carry out that purpose.
All right. Thanks for joining us this week. We'll see you next time as we take a closer look at all things.